So the government shutdown has concluded. It's over, and it looks like Chucky Schumer's political career is on the ropes. An independent investigation believes they have discovered the identity of the January 6, 2021 pipe bomber. That's been real interesting because the FBI saying, not so fast. The Olympic Committee is looking like they're going to reverse their policy on trans athletes. That's interesting. And who is Robbie Starbuck? And why is he suing Google for $15 million? Today, we introduce you to Ashton Forbes. Going to be very interesting. And also, one of my favorite subjects, geoengineering, and Dane Wigington appears on the Tucker Carlson show. All that's coming up on the Stan Show. I am Stan Arthur. This is the Stan Show, and we are recording this on Tuesday, November 11th. For those of you who are into clocks and calendars, I'm very, very happy to report that my co-host, Chevy Millard, is back with me today. How are you doing, Chevy?
I'm doing good. How about you, Stan?
Well, it's been a series of unfortunate incidents that has led to you and I not appearing together on a show for the last, seems like 6 months or so. But no, it hasn't been that long. But very glad to have you back here today. Yeah. We've got a lot to talk about, so I think we should probably just get right into it. I'm going to start just by saying Happy Veterans Day, if that's an appropriate thing to say. It is Veterans Day.
Absolutely.
And we need to acknowledge and thank the folks who, many of whom have given their lives to keep this nation free.
Yeah.
How do you feel about that?
Dude, I'm all about it. My wife's family is pretty much all Army or Marines or some form of military, and one is deployed or stationed in Hawaii right now and everything, and still active and everything. But yeah, thank you so much for everything you guys do and protect us.
Right on. And to go with that, I had received an invitation to receive. Oh, wow. I had received an invitation to attend the Marines' 250th birthday. They celebrate the Marines' birthday every year. They have a little get together and they slice a cake with a saber. And, you know, it's a lot of fun.
Yeah.
So I had received an invitation to go to that. And my wife and I, who both have a connection to the Marines, decided to do that. And that was last night at Camp Living Water, an establishment I first heard about from you. Yeah. But this was a fellow who you might know. I know he's very well known around Bryson City. His nickname is Gunner.
Oh, yeah.
And a lot of people know about his property where he lives. It's lined with American flags all along the roadside and all that. A lot of people recognize that, but that's Gunner. Well, he came up and introduced himself to my wife and to me last night as we sat down in there's a big dinner hall at Camp Living Water. Very nice, by the way. I thought it was a really great facility.
Beautiful place.
And there's a nice young fellow over there playing guitar and singing songs. And a lot of people from the community had reserved tickets. It was free. Yeah. Free dinner. And we're talking about, oh man, pulled pork, baked chicken, roast beef, and the amenities. There was coleslaw and taters, and they even had carrot ginger soup.
Ooh.
Yeah. So... and some fresh veggies with some dip. And I mean, it was fantastic. Of course, dessert. Right. They had cupcakes and cake, the Marine Corps cake and all that. And it was just lovely. It was just really, really lovely.
Oh, a good time.
My connection to the Marine Corps is that my name, which is Stanley William Arthur II, my name was given to me by, I was named for my uncle, my father's older brother, who died in Okinawa in the very last greatest battle of World War II before they dropped the bombs. Yep. Just an excellent movie made about that, by the way, called Heartbreak Ridge. Yep. And directed by Mel Gibson, by the way. A very, very good movie. My wife, her father was a Marine.
Right.
And so we had a little connection there. And so we thought we'd like to go and support the cause. They had an excellent raffle. They raffled off a $1,500 electric bicycle.
Oh, wow.
And that was cool. There was a silent auction with a lot of artwork and other cool things. And man, everybody just bought all that stuff up.
Very cool.
And I know they raised a good amount of money. So that was pretty cool.
Awesome.
I thought that was great. Did you do anything interesting this last week?
We had the Scream Fest in Maggie Valley. My company, or my buddy's company, Loftus and Sons Audio Solution, we ran the sound and everything for that. Got to hear some good music, some fire dancers, and all sorts of fun stuff. Other than that, just busy. We also are building the Darnell Farms Christmas Hayride Light Show right now, getting ready to start that up and everything, and that's in the building process. Yeah. So that's what I do with all my extra time.
Yeah, well, I think it's so cool that you're involved with that. The Christmas festivities around Darnell Farms are always a lot of fun, especially for the young people.
And we try to build it bigger every year, so it's going to be a little bit bigger this year.
Oh, cool. Very cool. Well, that's great. So I say we get right into it because we've got an awful lot of stuff to talk about. So it was interesting to learn that the government shutdown finally came to an end because 8 Democrats kind of walked across the aisle and voted with the Republicans.
Yeah, I think they got the
shutdown.
I think they got the exact 60.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, we have one Republican who constantly votes for the shutdown, and that is Rand Paul.
Yeah.
And do you know why that is?
Not really.
It's not too hard to understand.
Right.
Rand Paul is he's a libertarian.
Right.
Okay. Runs as a Republican, but he's a libertarian.
Right.
And the reason why he's not voting, quote unquote, with the Democrats.
Right.
He is voting that we stop this continuing resolution nonsense.
Yeah.
Do you know when the last time we had a balanced budget was in Congress?
Wasn't it Bill Clinton era?
It was 2001.
Yeah.
So it was George W. Bush.
Okay.
But it was 3 weeks after 9/11.
Right.
That's the last time we had a balanced budget from Congress.
Right.
And as we know, we're like approaching somewhere around $40 trillion
Crazy.
in debt, which is not sustainable.
Nope.
Those chickens will come home to roost. And that's why Donald Trump is doing the kinds of things he's doing.
Right.
And I don't know if you heard his most recent plan, but it is to give people like you and me $2,000.
Yeah. We'll see. I'm not holding my breath on it.
Well, that's half of the new tariffs, and the other half goes towards paying down our national debt.
Right.
So we'll see how that goes. But as far as the government shutdown is concerned, you probably understand what that was about.
Yeah.
That the Democrats wanted these Obamacare subsidies to be renewed because they have expired.
Right.
And the Affordable Care Act has not been affordable for a long time now.
Right.
And with these subsidies that were put in place for COVID, they were put in place for COVID, and it's the snake eating its tail. I mean, you've seen that, that probably that symbol, it's completely unsustainable.
Yeah. Well, what always kind of drove me crazy about this whole thing was if they thought that plan was so good and everything, why did they put these sunset clauses in it?
Yeah. You got me. You got me.
They wouldn't be at the point they are now without those sunset clauses that they put in it.
Yeah, I'm not that well read on the issue, honestly. I wasn't as politically involved, let's say, during the Obama administration as I am now. But there's that. So I believe the total came to something like $1.5 trillion they were holding out for.
Yeah.
And under a Trump administration, you're just not going to get that.
Right.
And now let's also remember that Donald Trump really didn't have anything to do with it. That's the Congress, and that's between the House of Representatives and the Senate to work that out. And the House passed the continuing resolution, which is what they call kicking the can down the road until, I guess this time it's going to be January 30th.
Right.
which this could happen all over again on January 30th. But I'm not really counting. Now, most people don't know this because a lot of times when Donald Trump posts something, it's on his own platform called Truth Social.
Right.
And he posted his solution to this whole healthcare problem. A lot of people haven't heard it. They're not talking about it on the news or talking about what it is. And have you heard anything about it?
I haven't.
It's simple. It's very, very simple. First of all, you cancel the Affordable Care Act. You cancel Obamacare.
Okay.
You cancel Obamacare, and you take all the funding for uninsured people who can't get health insurance, or let's just say the good people who can't get health insurance, not the grifters. All right. Not the people who are grifting the system. Okay. Right. But you take all of that money that's meant to set up a program to assist these people, and you give it to the people.
Right.
You give it to the people and allow the insurance companies to fight it out. That's what competition is all about.
Yeah.
They fight it out, and suddenly your prices start going down.
Yeah.
If these people are spending their own money, it's obviously it's our taxpayer money, but we have to have something for the uninsured, the people who can't get insured. We have to have something for them.
Right.
Right. So, I mean, and a lot of people, Republicans just want people to die. It's never, ever, ever been the case.
Right.
Never, ever been the case. We don't want people to die.
Right.
We want people to be healthy. We want people to be insured. So what are we doing about it? Well, the Health and Human Services Department, headed up by RFK Jr., he's been trying to make our food healthier, to make us healthier. But the big pharma and all them, they profit from keeping us sick all the time.
Right.
Right. And there's a number of ways that can happen through our food additives, through the air that we breathe, through all that stuff. But it just makes sense to make the government smaller and give power back to the people.
Yeah.
And that is the solution.
Yeah. That's why I think I am kind of a huge fan of Rand Paul, because I kind of lead towards more of that. I'm more of a centrist right. But yeah, I'm all for less government, staying out of our stuff, everything. It hasn't worked yet. Why is it going to work later?
Well, that's a very conservative view, is small government, not the nanny state,
right?
The opposite of the nanny state. So yeah. So and just on the tip of that, we're hearing that probably not a lot of, but a few of the congressional House, we'll say the House members are, they are, especially in the House. Now Chuck Schumer, he's a senator, but a lot of the House representatives are calling for Schumer to get out of town. They're calling for him to finally step down and get out. And this is right on the heels of Nancy Pelosi announcing her retirement. And a lot of people saying that's no coincidence. And a lot of that having to do with some of these indictments that are being prepared in regard to January 6th.
Yeah.
And the things that happened behind the scenes in January 6th. And you say, well, that was Trump's government. And I said, yeah, but you got to remember, in Trump's first term, more than half of his own administration was working against him.
Yeah.
You look at the Bill Barrs and the Chris Wrays and the people like that, and it's not even funny. Not funny. And even since then, we've discovered a lot more of our representatives and senators aren't who they say they are. They may have been on the surface going, yay, Trump, and they were behind his back working against him. So things are different now.
Yeah.
Things are a little different now. People are a little more straightforward about who they're for and who they're not for. But it's all interesting. So will Chuck Schumer, will he survive? I mean, and by survive, it simply means, will he not be will he no longer be the minority leader?
Right.
Right.
Yeah.
So.
And then the bad part is, for him, is you got the Democrats that voted for the continuance and the Democrats that didn't vote for the continuance, and they're both pointing at Chuck Schumer that he failed.
Yeah.
And so he's getting it from both sides too.
You're absolutely right about that. That is absolutely 100% correct. So it doesn't look good.
Yeah. Yeah.
It doesn't look good.
I mean, I think it's time for half of those people to retire. I mean, they're literally, I was talking to my buddy the other day, they're literally having to hold these people, pretty much prop them up and carry them out of Congress.
Oh, yeah.
Because they're barely alive.
Yeah.
I mean, they wield, the president's name just left my head. The Atlanta president.
The what?
The president that came out of Atlanta.
Oh, Jimmy Carter?
Jimmy Carter.
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, they freaking wheeled him out on a stretcher and propped him up as a political thing during the election.
Yeah. And he was like, he looked like this.
Yeah. And they're like, he voted. And I'm like, did he?
He probably couldn't even tell you what day of the week it was.
Yeah. But half these people are having to be carried out of the Congress and everything. And I'm just like,
yeah. Oh, Feinstein, she died in office.
She died in office.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. It's terrible. You got to wonder. I've actually been able to answer my own question because I've been asking this question for years, simply because I worked at a law school where a few of the professors were in their 80s.
Right.
And I'm just looking at them going, what the hell's the matter with you?
Right.
I know how much money you make.
Right.
I know what you have. Get out of here. Go enjoy the rest of your life. But that is their life.
Right.
And with people like Pelosi and Schumer. Oh my God. What's his name? Kentucky boy.
You got me on that.
Well, I don't think that's our been there forever. He needs to get the heck out of there.
But I mean, they're making
Senate Majority Leader.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah. What's his?
Oh, I know exactly. That's actually the guy I was talking about. They're having to hold him up.
Yeah.
Because he can't walk.
He's had 2 blackouts in the middle of his speeches.
Yeah.
He's gone freeze.
Like, I mean, at this point, it's like I was saying with Biden, it's elder abuse at this point.
It is elder abuse.
That they're dragging these guys in, and they can barely hold a normal conversation,
you make
let
an
alone
excellent point.
run the world.
Yes. Yeah, absolutely. And Lindsey Graham, he's another one.
Yeah.
This guy's bloodthirsty.
Yeah.
He is a warmonger. He has this weird psychosexual attraction to death.
Yeah. Well, he knows it makes money. And that's why half of them stay in there until they die, because they make millions.
He talks about killing people all the time.
It's pretty crazy.
Tucker Carlson recently did about an hour on Lindsey Graham by himself, with no guest. And I was riveted. I was, wow. That was amazing. And I highly recommend you all go and watch it. Tucker, I was one of the first people when Tucker left Fox News and he was setting up the Tucker Carlson network. I was one of the first people to shell out $40 for an annual membership.
Oh, yeah.
Because I loved him on Fox News. I loved, he was doing things nobody else was doing, which is why he was no longer there.
Right.
But, and just within months of shelling out the $40, I realized he was taking all of that content and he was throwing it on YouTube for free. So he didn't get my money anymore. Right. But I'm sure he doesn't miss it, because he gets these incredible sponsors who pay him loads of money. I have no doubt that he's doing better now than he was at Fox News when he was the most watched news program in the country at that time. And we're taking the networks, cable, streaming, everything. He was the most watched news program in the country. Anyway, so, well, what do you all think? What do you think about this government shutdown ending, and also about Chuck Schumer maybe losing his coveted position in the Senate? And on top of that, I'll add this. There are a couple of clips from yesterday's The View.
Okay.
Maybe it was today's, I don't know, but I saw him later this afternoon. I was like, oh man, that's just awful.
Yeah.
That is just awful. Anyway, moving on. What do y'all think about it? I'd like to know what you think about it. So put it in the comments. And please also do not forget to like and subscribe to this channel on YouTube, also on Rumble. There is also the Facebook page called The Stan Show. You can follow that page, and I am on X as well. As you see it twirling down there in the corner. It's at Stan Arthur 57, and when you pull it up, it'll say The Stan Show. So you can give me a follow there. Great place to comment on stuff. X is a cesspool, but man, it's a weird place. I'll tell you that. Okay, moving on. Wow, something came up from the Blaze. Glenn Beck's, his operation is called the Blaze, the Glenn Beck Show, and all that. But this just came out last Friday, I think it was. And let's pull it up here. Let's pull it up here and put it on the screen for the folks to see. Okay, so this was an independent investigation.
Right.
Okay. They spared no expense. And they went to the most costliest, intensive forensic techniques you could possibly, I didn't even know existed.
Right.
To find this out, to check this out. But they say that this woman right here, whose name is Shawnee Kirchhoff, they say that she was the January 6th pipe bomber.
Yeah.
And when they first suggested that it was a woman, I went back and watched the videos and watched the walking and the gait and everything. I said, it kind of looks like a woman to me. It kind of does. This Shawnee Kirchhoff, she was a Capitol cop 4.5 years, which included during January 6th.
She was actually there on January 6th.
And the odd thing is that the forensic down low they got on her has to do with the way she walks. And she was a soccer player, and she received an injury, and she's always had a little bit of a limp since that injury. And well, let's just go over this. Let's go over these couple of paragraphs here. I'll just go ahead and read them out loud. A forensic analysis of a female former U.S. Capitol Police officer's gait. You know what a gait is. We're not talking about a gait. We're talking about how they walk. It's considered
their stride.
A gait, G-A-I-T. Well, it's a 94 to 98% match to the unique stride of a long-sought January 6th pipe bomb suspect, according to a Blaze News investigation confirmed by several intelligence sources. A source close to a congressional investigation of January 6th additionally told Blaze News evidence has emerged recently that pointed toward law enforcement possibly being involved in the planting of the pipe bombs. And for those of you who do not know, the pipe bombs were planted on the evening of January 6th, one by the RNC headquarters and one by the DNC headquarters. Right. Okay, now back to our program. All right. Now, let's read this right here and we'll move on. A software algorithm that analyzes walking parameters, including flexion or knee bend, hip extension, speed, step length, cadence, and variance, rated Shawnee Kirchhoff 31 of Alexander, Virginia. She's 31 years old, of Alexandria, Virginia, as a 94% match to the bomb suspect shown on the video January 5th, 2021. The veteran analyst who ran the analysis for Blaze News said that based on visual observations the program can struggle with, he personally pegged the match at closer to 98%. Kirchhoff, who was a Capitol Police officer for 4.5 years, left the department mid-2021, we're talking about 6 months after this incident. Right. She left the Capitol Police Department for a security detail at the CIA. Well, that sounds very nice for her. Yeah. Have you seen the video of her waving at somebody? Have you seen that?
Waving at a cop.
At a cop.
At a cop.
Yeah. Yeah. She's passing by somebody who is a Capitol cop.
Yeah.
Who she knows.
Yeah.
And she absentmindedly just waves at the person.
Yeah.
Now, the suspect is wearing a hoodie and a face mask, so we cannot see the eyes, or we can't see anything about this person at all. But what you can see is the way they walk.
Yeah.
And I say they using the pronoun because she has not been arrested.
Right.
In fact, the FBI saying, whoa, wait a minute. Hold up. Yeah, we're still doing our investigation and we'll let you know.
Right.
So that's interesting.
Yeah.
That's pretty interesting.
Pretty crazy.
Pretty crazy, huh? What do you think? Do you think Shawnee Kirkhoff is the January 6th pipe bomber? There's some other information that goes along with that I think is very compelling, and that is the fact that during the Biden administration, all those 4 years,
Right.
that investigation was never done.
It was very sloppily done, if anything.
Yeah, it was never, they dropped it.
Right.
They dropped the investigation and said, yeah, we don't know who this is, so we're moving on.
Yeah.
Yeah.
No, there's some crazy stuff. And I actually, I'm kind of cool with the FBI saying, hold on, let's do some more research and everything, because Kash Patel was so quickly to put out there that they had caught Charlie Kirk's murderer.
Yeah.
When they had caught nobody at that point and everything. So he's probably taken a slow, okay, hang on, let's look at this.
I'm totally with you on that.
Yeah.
It makes all the sense in the world. I mean, they have to get it right.
Yeah.
And that's great. I'm glad that they're taking their time to do it. Now, if we never hear another word about it, that's going to be a problem.
Yeah, that's one thing.
But yeah, there is that. So yeah. So what do y'all think? Let me know. Let me know in the comments, because I would like to know what you think. And you can always like and subscribe, and that would be a great thing. Please do. Like meaning give it a thumbs up on YouTube or on Rumble, and always consider subscribing to the channel so you can be notified whenever we release some more of this nonsense. So, but we'd like to see you be a part of that. Okay, moving on. It looks like the Olympic Committee is going to change their policy on trans athletes. And all I can really think of is seeing in my mind over and over again is the Olympic boxer who pummeled a female into the ground. And I don't think anybody liked watching that very much. And we know, about the swimming and the, other aspects of that where trans athletes have whooped up on females.
All right.
And from what I read, it sounded like they're citing evidence of, it appears from our studies that men do have a serious advantage over women.
Yeah, go figure.
So, like you needed a forensic microscope to check that out, right? So that was pretty interesting. I don't know where you land on that, but I have a sinking suspicion. I
mean, I'm always kind of was for it and everything. I mean, like it's one thing to have athletes, especially in contact sports. A good one is, have you ever heard of Fallon Fox?
Of who?
Fallon Fox.
Oh, that name rings a bell.
UFC fighter.
Yeah.
Transitioned from male to female.
Yeah.
All of a sudden started whooping people in UFC.
Darn.
I wonder why.
How does that happen?
And I'm just like, okay, this is ridiculous.
Yeah.
I mean, that's why there's laws out there to protect women in women's sports.
Right.
For this stuff not to happen.
Right.
But yeah, no, I'm with you. Watching that boxing match and that they get in, what was it? Not even 2 minutes. It's one punch and she goes to her corner and she couldn't take it. Broke her nose.
Yeah.
And that one punch.
Yeah. You ever had your nose broken?
I haven't.
I have. Yeah. It wasn't pleasant.
Yeah, I bet not.
It was not pleasant at all.
Actually, I
didn't see it coming either.
Yeah, I kind of took it back. I had it surgically broke. I had a deviated septum.
Oh, yeah. Yeah.
Wasn't a comfortable evening.
Speaking of septums, what's your take on septum rings for females?
I'm not a fan of it for anybody.
I don't know a single man who is.
I've seen them on both male and female and everything, and I have yet to find where I was like, okay, that looks good.
I just keep imagining those people blowing their nose and what that must be like. Yeah.
I have a friend. She has the piercing right on the side of the nose.
Yeah.
And I'm like, so
does it squirt out?
Yeah. Can you put water in your nose? And it goes.
But it's just, for me, it's just one of those things like false eyelashes. Only obviously there's a bigger commitment for that.
Right.
But it's like women do it for other women.
Yeah.
I mean, Have you ever looked at a woman and, yeah, no, I'm not talking about, your wife at all or anything like that, right? But have you ever looked at a woman and thought, man, she looks so much better if she had longer eyelashes?
Or a caked on mask of makeup where you can take a piece of paper and just scrape it off.
Well, some ladies have bad skin. I don't
think the makeup's helping the skin.
Yeah.
I don't know. I'm not a lady.
Whatever gets you through the night.
Yeah.
I mean,
luckily my wife, she understands. She has natural beauty and everything. She likes to play with makeup. It's for fun and stuff.
Yeah.
And she likes to dress up.
Yeah.
But I've told her and everything. I was like, I don't need the makeup. I don't need this all and everything. I love you for you and everything.
Yep.
And so,
well, as you said, she's naturally beautiful.
She is naturally beautiful.
You want some good points there. Does she watch our show?
A little bit, yeah.
Well, I hope she watches
if she's not running after our 2-year-old.
Oh, well, there's that. Okay, well, let's move on. Who is Robbie Starbuck?
Yeah, I looked into this. He's interesting. Yeah. I thought for a second, he was part of Starbucks, but he's not.
No, that's actually his middle name.
Okay.
But his last name is Newsom.
Right, okay.
Which is why do you say
total polar opposites?
Sorry, folks. I was sick a week ago, and I still got that kind of coughing thing going on. But yeah, no, this actually his middle name. He's a Cuban American.
Okay,
and he wasn't born in Cuba. He was born here, but his grandparents and his mom fled Cuba in 1960.
Okay,
he was born here in Southern California. And here's a guy who he made it into the Hollywood inner circle with no connections whatsoever. Right. He did it all by himself. Let's read something on Robbie Starbuck that I pulled up. This appears to be very up to date. Anyway, I gave you some of this information already, but he made a name for himself making music videos as a director of music videos and some short films, and he's made his own documentary film, which we're going to look at in a minute. But he very successfully built his own production company, made music videos for Snoop Dogg, Smashing Pumpkins, and he's always been known as being a conservative. So he faced a lot of backlash from the liberal-leaning, satanic Hollywood community for his Republican views. So I think after a bunch of that, like a lot of other conservatives did in Hollywood, he relocated to somewhere else. He went to Tennessee in 2019. And he came to recognition during COVID for being very much against mask and vaccine mandates.
Right.
And being very vocal about it. And at that point, he garnered a large following on X, which was still Twitter at the time. And he has also gained a lot of notoriety he kind of leverages his large following on X to expose certain companies who have been overdoing it with their DEI concepts. So their DEI stuff, diversity, equity, inclusion, those programs. Companies like Tractor Supply. I remember when he went off on that. John Deere, same thing. Harley Davidson, which is owned by a French company. Did you know that?
Didn't know that.
Yeah. He did it against Lowe's, against Walmart, and even Boeing, asking them to scale back their DEI stuff because it just, DEI is racist.
Right.
It says color over merit. Doesn't matter how good you are at something. We're going to take the person of color because we're trying to whatever. Right. But that in itself is racist.
Right.
He also produced a documentary called The War on Children. And if you would humor me, I think we should watch the 3-minute trailer for that to give you a much better idea who Robbie Starbuck is. All right. So let's do that.
Are they intentionally sexualizing our children and stealing their innocence?
I think that's right.
TikTok specifically is designed to target young people. That's who their audience is.
Have children died because of social media?
Absolutely.
Have they been trafficked off of social media?
100%.
Have they been sexually exploited off of social media?
Ongoing, yes.
I'm scrolling on TikTok. I see little kids with TikTok.
What are they looking at?
This is what you don't want kids to see. Is that correct?
Exactly.
And again, this is depicting children. This is supposed to be kids.
Well, honestly, I didn't even know that transition from female to male was an option until I was on social media and began being exposed to those type of communities.
You've never seen a 18-month-old masturbating?
No, I haven't. Have you seen any sexually explicit drag shows marketed as all ages for kids that you would denounce or think that are a problem and that you want to distance yourself from?
No.
You know this is wrong.
So, I'm sorry, I'm gonna have to end the interview.
They use the word sexualize kids at a young age, or, I mean, give me a break.
It just seems like there's no moral, construct at all.
Are kids facing just the absolute worst onslaught of grooming that we've ever seen?
Yes, the entertainment industry is sexualizing children for an agenda.
Your daughter was secretly transitioned at school.
This policy has to do with children as young as 5 all the way through high school.
Penthouse footed the bill to lobby before state boards of education. Yes, Penthouse and Playboy. The history behind this is far darker than most Americans understand.
Do you think the big tech companies at this point are essentially aiding and abetting human traffickers and people who are working to exploit children?
Absolutely.
If you don't want to hear it in a school board meeting, why should children be able to check it out of the school system?
There is misinformation presented that somehow that we're doing surgery on minors or even children, and that simply is not true.
How old were you when they gave you a double mastectomy?
It was a month after my 13th birthday.
Ultimately, we're going to talk about, are they going to give, the counselor's going to give them medication there at school without their parents' permission? I mean, I think we're leading towards an absurd and horrific time.
Well, first of all, we weren't forewarned we would be sharing a locker room. We had no idea. I turned around, a 6'4", 22-year-old man, fully intact with an exposing male genitalia.
This ideology is killing our kid.
Do you think more people need to speak up to protect kids like your daughter?
Yes, I do.
Well, I think from heaven she can see how hard you fought for her.
Do you feel like this is a war on children?
I know it's a war on children, but like they said, we're coming for your kids.
Yeah.
And they have.
Wow. What do you think of that?
It's actually crazy because this is actually one of the things I've always stood on and everything is the exploitation of children.
Right.
I've done many of rallies for child sex trafficking and worked with a bunch of companies that what they do is they go into these places and go into where they're selling the children and everything. They buy these children out of sex trafficking, everything. And it's so crazy what we've allowed in this world. And this is nothing new. It's just being presented to you. I mean, I hate child pageants. It's nothing but putting children in these skimpy outfits, makeup dolled up to look like older women.
It seems really perverse.
Yeah, and it's absolutely insane to me what we do.
Yeah, it's robbing them of their childhood.
100%. You cannot. I have yet to find, if there is, it's very few. All these child stars that have grown up to not be messed up because of what's happened in the industries of Hollywood, Nickelodeon, All Quiet on the Set, and everything. Yeah. Another documentary, if you get a chance, check that out. You'll never watch a Nickelodeon show ever again. I mean, this has always been a big thing for me and everything. And I actually have never heard of this, and I'm gonna go find it and watch it.
Yeah. I'm actually not sure where you go watch it. I think there was information there at the end, but I kind of blew right past it so I could get your reaction to that whole thing. I made my own documentary.
Okay.
I went through a period about, I'm going to say 5 to 10 years ago where I made documentary films.
Yeah. Hey.
I made one called At Risk.
Okay.
It's only 30 minutes long, but I wanted to be short and sweet, get in and out, and tried to make something that I thought people would watch.
Right.
And it's a bunch of talking heads like this is, but there are a couple of cases in there that are mind-blowingly bad.
Yeah.
And anybody can watch that if you go to the Stan Arthur YouTube channel, which is not the Stan Show channel. It's a different channel. But if you go to Stan Arthur on YouTube, and you just look for just go to YouTube and put in "At Risk Stan Arthur." It's a little 30-minute documentary you can watch on your own. I made that. I guess it was, I'm gonna say 12 years ago now. I made that. Anyway, so let's get back to Robbie Starbuck and why he is suing Google AI for $15 million in a defamation suit. First of all, this video right here that we just watched would be extremely clear evidence that he would be the sworn enemy of the left.
Yeah.
Because they're fighting for everything that he is fighting against.
Yeah.
Right? In regard to children. So what is this? What happened? Well, it turns out people were going to Google or Google AI and searching for Robbie Starbuck, and they were getting full-blown lies.
Yeah.
And they weren't talking about another Robbie Starbuck. They were talking about this one.
Right.
And this is amazing. Google, okay? One of the biggest companies in the world and one of the most trusted AIs out there, right?
Yeah.
One of the most comprehensive AIs. Google is racing very quickly toward quantum computing.
Right.
I mean, it's happening. And this is scary. This is super scary. Okay, so we're talking about accusations of child rape, take the G off, okay? Serial sexual assault and harassment, often inventing details like repeatedly raping a nanny at night while his family slept, being on Jeffrey Epstein's flight logs, involvement in fraud, stalking, drug charges, financial exploitation, and even shooting someone in the leg. Google AI was making all this up for people who were searching about Robbie Starbuck. False links. They give him false links to white nationalist Richard Spencer and fabricated denunciations, people who are denunciating him. Denouncing him from figures like Donald Trump, Elon Musk, and J.D. Vance, people who should love Robbie Starbuck, right? Fake denunciations, all right? Impersonating real media outlets, Google AI, impersonating real media outlets like CNN and Fox News, New York Times, Joe Rogan, Ben Shapiro, and they were creating fake headlines, articles, court records, police reports, and victim testimonies to make the lies seem credible. Even when users challenged the AI, it was doubling down on them, saying, oh no, it's all true. Anyway, this goes on and on and on. Just ask Grok.
Yeah.
Just ask Grok. This is unbelievable.
Yeah.
Unbelievable. And what's Google's response been? Oh, that's in here too. Let's read some of that because that's fascinating. Google's response. Let's see.
I think in the short, before, like, once you read it, I think they basically, like, you can have AI prompt anything you wanted to say.
Yeah.
I'm like,
Okay, Google's knowledge and response. Starbuck notified Google multiple times starting in December 2023, including emails to engineers and cease and desist letters from his lawyers. But I'm going to skip over some of this. But the claims that the company dismissed them as routine support issues without fixing any of it.
this is going on for 2 years.
And this is after he's filed complaints and cease and desist.
Yeah.
Defamatory outputs by the Google AI continued into this year, 2025, even after the lawsuit was filed.
Yeah.
Independent journalists were able to reproduce what Robbie Starbuck was reporting easily. They could easily reduce it
crazy.
In this year, in 2025. Google blocked searches for his name on, it's called Gemma, I guess, days before the suit was filed, but they haven't fully addressed third-party sites that are hosting the same models that would give you the same results.
Yeah. Yeah, I kind of Gemini'd his name and see what that said, and it pretty much just bringed up his lawsuit and everything. So they've kind of tempered that down. But yeah, and one of the reasons he said he's filing this is too and everything, and he's got a awesome reason, because it's defamatory It's
Yeah.
all fake. And people like Charlie Kirk, who got shot because of fake statements.
Absolutely.
With tremendous wealth like this.
Yeah.
I mean, those are big statements to say against a person, especially hurting children. There are people when they say, oh, that person hurt a child, he's done.
Yeah.
Without even thinking.
Yeah, I'm with you. Starbucks had a similar suit against Meta, Facebook, for those who don't know. And they settled with him.
Yeah.
They absolutely settled with him. The Google case is being framed as a landmark fight against AI defamation, urging Congress to probe the bias that is found in some of these AIs.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Pretty crazy.
Pretty crazy. He's going to win.
Yeah.
He's
one way or
gonna
another,
win.
they're either going to settle or because they can't say, no, this didn't happen.
Well, Trump has won all of his lawsuits.
Yeah.
You see, he's suing the BBC now. Did you see that?
Yeah, I saw that for them editing his
They edited his January 6th speech.
Yeah.
We're making him say, and we're going to be marching down to the Capitol, and I'll be with you, and we're going to fight. That's not what he said.
Right.
They took things that were said 54 minutes apart in a speech, and they put them up together to make it sound like he was inciting a January 6th riot, which he didn't do. What do you all think? Let me know. It's always fun when you watch the show, and we appreciate that you do, but most of you don't subscribe to the channel. So please think about that. Think about doing that. Would you please subscribe to the channel, give it a thumbs up, like, and if you don't like it, then give it a thumbs down. But, if you hit it twice to make sure that thumbs down really takes hold there. Okay, so that's Robbie Starbuck. I've been following him for a while on X since I started hearing about him giving a lowdown to companies who were going real fat with their DEI. Anyway, okay. So finally today, well, actually not finally, but I don't want this to go on too much longer. But heck, we haven't done a good session in a while, so who cares if we go over time, right? I want to talk about Ashton Forbes, somebody who I just recently became aware of. And I saw it because I know who Dr. Stephen Greer is, who is a UFO guy, been doing it for 30 years, formerly an emergency room doctor, and gave all that up 30 years ago to do what he's doing now, which is to try to get full disclosure from our government about UFOs.
Right.
Or UAP, as they like to call it now. They like to, confuse the issue by changing up the acronyms all the time. Anyway, so Ashton Forbes, after I watched over the last couple of days, probably 5 or 6 hours of his stuff, I became aware of him. Dr. Stephen Greer did one of his podcasts with Ashton as his guest. So that's how I became aware of it. And then I realized he's got his own YouTube channel, and he's got lots of shorts and reels out there, especially on Facebook. And I just watched a bunch of those, and I just go, who is this guy? Because he knows a lot of stuff. And it's not about aliens.
Yeah.
Not really.
Right.
In fact, he's been quoted as saying aliens are fake and gay.
Okay.
No, it's about technology.
Yeah.
It's about the technologies that are being hidden from us that would change the world.
Yeah.
That we have been in basically a technological standstill for decades. And of course, the UFO thing, we've been completely in the dark about for going on 80 years now since Roswell. Roswell was in 1947, and we're looking at 27, so about 80 years. We're a couple of years away from that. So, which is crazy when you think about it, absolutely crazy. And a lot is happening right now in that regard. Congressional hearings, fantastic podcast. I don't know if you watch Weaponized and all that. Of course, I don't think Ashton Forbes likes Jeremy Corbell too much, but they all have different concepts of what this is all about.
Right.
And as far as Stephen Greer is concerned, it's about the aliens. It's about the technology at the same time, because he says that most of what we're seeing, the phenomena in the skies that we are seeing, is man-made.
Right.
And that we have had the secrets to both anti-gravitic technology and zero-point energy, two things which would it would be the Jetsons right now. Do you know the Jetsons are?
Oh.
Okay, I don't know.
Oh, yeah.
I have to ask. I have to ask. It would be the Jetsons right now. We're talking all about flying cars, unlimited free energy, no more hunger, no more poverty in the world. If these technologies were just given to us, because they have that, but you know what? Do you know why we don't have it? Because they've weaponized it. Because these are now weapons trying to, it's a national security issue. We have it, and other countries do not have it. We have it. They don't have it. And now they know we have it. And one of the reasons they know we have it is because of something that happened a while ago. An entire jet airliner vanished in thin air. And a lot of people would tell me, oh, no, that's not what happened. That's not what happened. Well, I believe it did.
Right.
And I believe that these small pieces of wreckage that have washed up on shores, I believe that was faked. I believe that serial numbers were put on these things, and dropped in the ocean to wash up places to be found, because they desperately want to hide the truth of what really happened to that airliner. And all we need to know, I think, to know that these things are real, that teleportation is real, that black holes are real, that portals are real, that space-time is currently being manipulated by technology that we currently have.
Right.
When you stop thinking about time as a linear thing, and you stop thinking about space as being empty, then it opens the door to all this other technology and capabilities and possibilities. The fact that we have a Trump administrator who is on record saying anything you can imagine, anything that you've seen in Star Trek, we already have it.
Right.
We can already do it. And who was it who said, we have the technology, this was several years ago, we already have the technology to send ET back home.
Yeah. Well, what's crazy is, and I'm gonna bring this up.
Please do.
This is nothing new. There was a guy not too long ago, who blew the whistle on all of this and everything, that we had the propulsion systems and everything.
Yes.
It was Bob Lazar.
Bob Lazar, yes. Oh, yeah.
I mean, and
very familiar with Bobby.
Yeah.
Bobby.
The one thing that I was always like, okay, this has got all the credibility to me, because I'm not sold on Ashton yet. There's some stuff I've looked at other professors that are like, okay, he's kind of, but the one thing that sold me on Bob Lazar was he was always talking about this element 115.
Right.
And everybody would deny this ever existed.
Yeah.
But if you look at our periodic table now,
it's on there.
Element 115 exists now.
Yeah, they actually through a cyclonic collider thing. They actually recreated it, and it lasted for like a blip of a second.
Yeah,
and before it evaporated or whatever.
Yeah.
What I'd like to do, as far as introducing my folks here to Ashton Forbes, is play a couple of videos. Let's get this set up for you here. I'm gonna go to here. And let's do this one first. Now, what you're about to see, let's put this up on the screen. What you're about to see here is two different videos of the same event. These two videos have been synchronized so as everything happens at the same time. The one on the left is, do you see the green areas?
Yeah.
That's from the wing of a Reaper drone. And the body of on the left, the body of a Reaper drone. This is taken from a wing-mounted camera on a Reaper drone. Okay, and the other one, the black and white one on the right, was posited to be a satellite footage for a while. But as you will hear, Ashton Forbes has uncovered, it's actually another drone.
Right.
So think about this. This airplane vanished in midair over the ocean, and the United States had two Reaper drones focused on it. Why?
Yeah.
Why? I guess they wanted some record to be able to show people like China and Russia, look what we got, look what we can do. All right. Now what you're gonna see, for those of you who haven't seen this before, you're gonna see an airplane. Now this is two styles. I believe one is infrared, and the other one is some sort of heat signature thing that isn't infrared. It's different. It's different technology. But I believe the one on the right is the infrared. But anyway, here we go. Now, there's no sound to this. There's the airliner. Now, you see these move. Now, this is very important. You're going to see the pictures move. As the airliner moves, you're going to see the picture move. Right. This is because this is being screen recorded by a man in the military. He is screen recording. Somebody who had clearance to be able to view this, screen recorded it, and then put it out there.
Right.
He's now serving an 8-year prison term. Now, why would that be if this wasn't something they desperately wanted to punish him for?
Right.
Right? Okay. So, no, very important to remember that a lot of people don't know this. This plane was on fire and needed an emergency landing. Lithium battery had exploded. A lot of people think this was planted too, that this was meant to happen.
Right.
There were 4 people on this plane. There were 239, I think, on the plane. They all vanished, all gone. But there were 4 of them on the plane who were defecting to China with secrets.
Right.
Which doesn't give our CAA the right to disappear this plane.
No.
And along with all those people. But it would give them impetus to do that. And as we know, they were unscrupulous and they will do anything like that to keep their secrets.
Right.
Makes perfect sense.
Yeah.
The whole Vietnam War was based on that. And how many died? How many American soldiers? Over 50,000 American soldiers died in the Vietnam War. All right. So keep watching now. On the left, you can see the plane. Now, this plane, let me say this too. Also, these images were taken from above the plane. These Reaper drones are flying at about 20,000 feet, and the airplane at this point was about 4,000 feet and going down. Okay? And, okay, now you see it on the left. This is the same, this is completely synchronized. Now look, there's something circling the plane. Now there's 2 things circling the plane. Now there are 3 things circling the plane, and now they're triangulating. All right. They're flying around the plane. These are anti-gravitic orbs flying around the plane, circling the plane, setting up something. They're setting up some event. And here it comes. Bam. And the plane is gone. Now, okay. Now we spoke about this earlier today, and you said, "Hey, look, here's the corridor crew guys. They've got a forensic video guy, and they've debunked it. Oh, they've totally debunked it." But if you look further, they debunked the debunker. I mean, Ashton Forbes debunked the debunker in what I thought was totally legitimate video. Now, what we're going to watch. And I apologize to the viewers for this, but I think it's very, very important that you watch this. This is going to be like 10 minutes long, but you need to watch it because it really, really gives you an idea of who Ashton Forbes is. Bear with us, please. It's 12 minutes long. Hang in there. Or, just fast forward and listen to our discussion afterwards.
These videos, one was earlier believed to be from a satellite, another from a U.S. military drone. Now we know that the one wasn't from a satellite. They're both from U.S. military drones, correct?
Yeah, and so if we want to play the first video,
this is Ashton Forbes, by the way.
Satellite Video Airliner and UFOs. It was the first one to leak on May 19th, 2014. So roughly 8 weeks after the plane disappeared, but it says in the description, received March 12th, 2014, which is only 4 days after the plane disappeared.
Wow.
So we'll play the videos. If you're not watching and you're listening, I would encourage you to come back and watch, although we'll still try to walk you through it. So explain what we're seeing here.
Initially, we thought this was a satellite video because it looks like we're watching this airplane from really far away. The thing that was the major breakthrough was realizing this is wide area motion imagery, WAMI. So WAMI, wide area motion imagery, is actually made to look like satellite video. That's why it looks like satellite video. So what it is, though, is there's a drone, and This is called Gorgon Stare, the version that we're looking at here, Gorgon Stare Increment 2. There's an MQ-9 Reaper drone above the plane, much higher above the plane. This plane is flying very low. We can tell because of these clouds on the screen. These clouds are cumulus clouds. That's the ocean underneath as well. This is a very low flying plane, and this drone is probably around 20,000 feet above it. Okay. And it's got cameras underneath the wings of it, Gorgon Stare cameras looking down. And what these drones do is they fly around in a hexagon pattern, and then they take these photos all the time. And this is beaming to, you see in the bottom left corner, it says NROL 22. It's kind of cut off in this version. It says NROL 22. It's beaming to that satellite, and then that satellite's relaying that information to ground-based computers, where they take these photos and they convert it into what we're seeing here, which is wide area motion imagery. That's why you see this jerky motion. It's only 6 frames per second. The plane kind of looks like it's jerking a little bit. Because when they were putting this technology together, it was slow initially. And in fact, this is why we know this is iteration 2. The first iteration of Gorgon Stare, there was all these complaints about it around 2010 to 2012. It was the frame rate was too low. You couldn't track people. You couldn't do anything like that. What they did was they upgraded it with something called Argus. Argus cameras upgraded into Increment 2. This was the last publicly available version, and it was announced around the exact same time these videos leaked. So this here is a drone filming above it, and we can even see the coordinates there. So what's happening here is that if you watch their Argus videos, you guys can see online, if you Google Argus, it's a huge field of view. So this drone is actually mapping like about a 100 square kilometer area of the ocean.
See the cursor
and someone
on
can
there?
interact with it, and they can press on the screen and it pulls up a window. We are looking at one of those windows. So somebody has popped open a window and they're watching the plane, tracking the plane on this huge battle map.
Of all the commercial aircraft, and
they could see anything in that 100 square kilometer view. And so then here they can just zoom in on it and they can replay this. This isn't just live, it's pre-recorded. They can rewind if they want to. That's why you see this mouse cursor come on the screen. And notice at the end there, when the mouse cursor goes off the screen, what they're doing is they're taking this window they have on their screen and they're just going and they're closing the window. And it's still recording for a brief second there.
So tell us what happens when we see, we're seeing a energy orb come in, right?
So I would call these hypersonic plasma orbs.
And there's one comes in.
Because this is essentially, they've created a drone here. They've taken the hypersonic turbojet engines and they've turned it into a heat exchange.
And there's 3.
Yeah, and the orbs lock in, and they're using magnetism to lock in like this. So why can they create a perfect triangle like that? Because it's magnet inversion, positive and minus magnetic or electromagnetic charge, and it creates an equilibrium, and they're just locking into a certain equilibrium. So how would you pull something like this off? Well, you would use some kind of fly-by-wire advanced, almost AI computer-based system for flight navigation. And then they spin around the plane, and then they go into this vertical orientation. Why did they flip to this vertical orientation? There's actually a lot of clues to be gained there from a scientific perspective. Like why, if you're spinning around the plane, you got 3 orbs spinning around the plane, why would you choose a specific way to spin around them? Because you can spin in 360 degrees. It doesn't matter. You can spin however you want. They're doing that because they're telling us where this plane is going. If this was just a missile, like a lot of people say, they think this is an annihilation event. If this is annihilation, I would just shoot a missile at the thing and it's gonna blow up. Why this whole, like, look at this dance. And watch when this first orb locks into the plane. When the first orb locks into the plane, it almost like it doesn't lock in right away. There's like one orb spin around the plane, but the other 2 orbs, as they lock in, they know exactly where they're going. They're locking in directly into their triangle formation. That tells me that this is like some kind of homing weapon where like, okay, you're painting the target, you've got the first orb locked in, and now they're all locked in, and now they're doing their program, their dance to spin around the plane. And it must be I think, a teleportation protocol. Like now that the orbs are in this vertical formation, spinning around the plane, they're spinning counterclockwise around the plane. The plane just disappears. Now this was the thing.
Flash. What's the flash?
And the flash, there's a flash of light, but that's actually not visible light, as we will find out when we watch the second video. But there's this flash of light. It turns out if you research wormholes, teleportation type stuff, you find that you expect there to be this flash of X-ray or soft X-ray or ultraviolet light. And those forms of light are not visible to the human eye. Now, this is going to be one of the hugest clues in the second video that what we're looking at is a real wormhole, real scientifically accurate one. Because we're going to look at a second video in a minute. And in the second video, we're going to see that flash is black. Means it's outside the thermal range of this color. And that would mean
it's not an explosion at all.
So yeah, it's not. It's more of like an implosion, right? It's an endothermic event. It's not a release of energy that we're seeing there, though we are seeing this release of this flash of photons. And that flash is actually probably the best evidence that that's a real video in 3 dimensions, because when that flash goes off, people have taken like you could change like the color scale on it. You can see it accurately illuminates the clouds. Like on the left side, you can see the clouds are accurately illuminated as if it's 3-dimensional lighting. And then in the foreground, you can see it only illuminates the part that would be, the light would be hitting. And that kind of level of detail is not something you see in, a standard hoax video or something like that. That means someone needed to create a 3-dimensional environment with point source 3D lighting to have accurate light, not just a glow effect or something like that either.
I learned an awful lot from that. I would not put it past our own people to do something like that.
Right.
Simply because, again, the secrets. The keeping of the secrets at all costs.
Right.
And that 200, I have yet to hear anybody tell me where the plane went.
Yeah, they still haven't. Yeah, that's the thing. Like, they still haven't found the plane. They say they have found wreckage and everything. Like, I have my own personal issues and everything with this and everything. Like I said, I'm not a big fan of his from what I've read and seen and everything. He's pulled a couple scams.
He's a bit of a dick.
Yeah.
However, he's intelligent. He's highly intelligent, and he's very, very well read, and he knows a lot about the technology that he's speaking of.
Yeah. I'm going to send you a couple of documentaries I found and everything, because sometimes people can sound intelligent and everything. They say a lot of big buzzwords and big words and everything, but they're just making buzzwords.
I'm wide open. I've only been on this guy's tail for the last couple of days.
Yeah.
And everything I've seen has just been very, very interesting to me, coming from him. So I'm happy to explore even more about him. And I just would like to know what most people think about this. I mean, obviously I'm going to get slammed for believing that we might be able to teleport people and things and this all anywhere in the known universe. I don't know.
Right.
I really don't know how it works. But if you don't think they're working on this stuff, I think you've got blinders on. And if you can somehow wrap your head around the concept that we've mastered the technology for, let's say, 60 to 70 years, and that it's only been growing and improving and reaching farther and farther out there in that time. So I believe that's absolutely possible.
Yeah. No, I believe it's definitely possible. I mean, you could go back, say 50 years, and you could tell somebody, hey, one day there's going to be a dude that can sit on his couch in the United States and fly a plane over halfway across the world and kill somebody on the other side of the world. Do you believe me?
Yeah.
No, that's crazy.
Yeah, it's crazy.
We do it every day now.
Yeah, true. So we have only begun to understand things, certain things in our own universe. I don't know if you watched my little short video I did about the multiverse versus the Bible.
Yeah, I watched a couple minutes.
Yeah. And I had to wrap my head around that, and I came away from it believing that a multiverse, through physics, they may discover that it could be possible,
right?
But it's not necessary,
right?
I am much more apt to believe in other dimensions, but without entire whole other universes and split timelines and all that stuff. Like there's 500. What is it? 100 to the 500th power of whatever number of universes, right?
Right.
Yeah. Crazy. It makes for good Marvel movies, at least some.
Yeah.
But, hey, lastly, I want to talk about somebody I've talked about before who is Dane Wigington. Dane Wigington has his organization called geoengineeringwatch.org. And I don't want to go too far with this because we've been going on quite long today. But Dane Wigington got a big break the other day.
Okay.
And that was that he was picked up by Tucker Carlson to be on his show for 1 hour.
Right.
And to discuss geoengineering and not just the spraying of the skies that we've been seeing for going on 40 years now.
Right.
Yeah, it was more than that. It went beyond that. And he talked about some very extremely scary things as far as like the plankton in the ocean dropping 90%, insects 90% gone. Yeah. Bees, 90% gone. These unbelievably horrible things that spell the end of humankind as we know it. And, again, I go off on these tangents and I have to be brought back. I have to be brought back to remember what is really important.
Right.
And the Bible tells us that no man was ever going to know the day or time that Christ is going to come back. Yep. Right. No, nobody knows.
Come as a thief in the night.
Well, exactly. And some say they know, but I don't put any stock in what they say because the scripture says that no man will know the day and time that it will happen. Dane Wigington has a lot of facts and figures. He has a lot of pictures. He has a lot of video. And he has his own YouTube channel, Dane Wigington. There's also Geoengineering Watch. But he has a documentary called The Dimming, a 2-hour documentary. I've been asking people for months to please go and watch that documentary. 2 hours, but it'll be the best 2 hours you ever spent.
Right.
There is just this feeling out there by a lot of people that just don't believe that humans would do that to other humans. And I have much proof to the contrary that they would.
Yeah.
That they would. And it's not just the elites of the world, who talk about culling the world population and subjugating the remainder.
Yeah.
It's not just the Black Rocks and the State Streets that buy up all of the housing that they can get their hands on at highly inflated prices so that they can then drive up the property values in a neighborhood, making it completely unaffordable to a family. I'm going to say a family like Chevy Millard to own their own home.
Can't do it.
You've been watching this chart, this graph with the line just going down, 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 down of 30-year-olds who own their own property.
Yeah.
And it's getting to be virtually non-existent.
Yeah. The American dream.
It's over.
It's I've come to accept that I probably will never have the house with a picket fence and everything. I'd be lucky if I get a trailer with a picket fence. But yeah, we've looked and looked and looked, especially around this area, 200,000.
Yeah.
There's no way.
I think it's fair to say that the richest people in the world are making it impossible for the poorest people in the world to have anything.
Yeah. It's the richest people in the world, and it's also the people that are buying up the houses and turning them all into Airbnbs and everything. I mean, they're making a house desert.
Yeah.
And
that's definitely part of the problem.
Yeah.
But just the fact that all of these houses are going to be owned by corporations and rented to people at exorbitant rates, it's causing absolute chaos in this country.
Yeah.
And I don't see an end to it.
Yeah.
I do not see an end to it.
I think we're never going to go back to way things were. That's far gone.
Yeah.
It's going to be rare if somebody owns their own house anymore. I think a generation is falling off.
Absolutely. And as you know, the only reason why Karen and I have this place is because we got an inheritance that we knew nothing about.
Right.
That suddenly hit us, and we're like, wow, That's going to make our dream come true. I don't know how anybody else does it. Yeah. But we did it the old-fashioned way. We inherited it. Right. So we feel very, very richly blessed to be able to have this place. And in turn, one of my ways of saying thank you is to have programs like this that disseminate information. But again, I get pulled back to what is the most important thing. And I know you can identify this because you're a Christian man.
100%.
And God wants us to tell folks about him.
Absolutely.
That our directive in life is to go out in the world and tell people about how they can become disciples of Jesus Christ, which may not sound like a very exciting life. But when you look around the world and you see all the evil in it, and you see everything that's being perpetrated against every kind of human, then you know that there must be something better. Yeah. And for me, it was becoming a Christian fairly early in life. As a young teen, I became a Christian. And I went on to travel all over North America in a Christian company that musicians and rock and roll and all that they called it God's Rock and Roll Army. It was called Young American Showcase. Did that. Also was a worship leader for 8 years at a church in St. Petersburg. And the man I worked for in Showcase just drilled it into my head that no matter what you do, tell as many people as possible about Jesus Christ, because that's their only chance at having that relationship and having salvation.
Yeah.
So just would quickly like to say, if you like to know more about becoming a Christian, you can always just contact me at my email, which is stanarthur@gmail.com. This is the Stan Show, in case you didn't know. Here it is in a nutshell. If you want to become a Christian, you say a prayer. And it goes like this: Father God, I'm a sinner. I know that I have fallen short of your glory. I know that that's what separates you from me. I also believe that Jesus Christ, your only begotten Son, was sent to this earth to be an example, to live as an example of a sinless life. And he himself even took all the blame for our sins on his body, on his life, took it on himself and died a horrible, excruciating death on a cross in order that anyone who would believe in him being who he said he was would not only have a better life now, but would have life everlasting. If you pray that prayer and you say, Father, forgive me. I know I'm a sinner. I believe in your Son, Jesus Christ. If you do that, then you will be accepted into the kingdom of God. And that's what it says in the scripture. I believe it. I know Chevy believes it. And many people worldwide believe it. I've had a great life. I can't complain. I can't complain at all about the life I've had. And I have not always been faithful. I have not always done the right things, but that's not what matters. What matters is that you get your life in order. You get things in perspective and you understand what really matters most in life. And at this point in Earth's history, I think we are closer to the end that I ever would imagine we would be at this point. And we see things developing worldwide that are very disconcerting. A lot more scriptures and a lot more prophecies need to be fulfilled, I think, before the horn blows. And but you never know. You never know what could happen to you. This might be your last chance to hear that news and to act on it. I hope that you will. Anyway, I hope you've had a good time today, Chevy.
Absolutely.
Great. I appreciate you coming and being part of this thing today.
Did you want to do this before?
Yeah, sure. Okay. Let's do this thing.
It'll make a good short.
Yeah. Well, that's very cool. Chevy had this idea. Let me turn these little monikers off here. Chevy had this great idea. Chevy, I'll let you talk about it. Go ahead.
So I got this cool idea, and I thought it would be just funny or fun to little do and everything. If people don't know, there's a little bit of an age difference here.
I'm a boomer.
I'm a millennial.
There you go.
And back in my age and everything, we made up our own words, as all generations do and everything. Sure. And I thought I would pass off about 10 words and see what you think they mean, and if you know what they mean and what they truly mean,
I'm going to fail miserably at this. Now my kids are millennials.
Okay.
I raised 2 millennials.
I got you.
All right. So I might have a heads up on this. I don't know.
I think you might.
Okay.
So the first word is going to be bae. B-A-E.
Bae is, my understanding of the word is it's short for baby. Like you're my baby. You're my bae. Like it's slang for baby.
Right. You're pretty much on it. It means before anyone else.
Oh, so it's an acronym.
Yeah. It's a, you're my bae. You're before anybody else.
I did not know that.
So you're on the right path.
No, I failed.
All right. The next one is clap back.
Oh yeah, that clapping back. That's if somebody's sarcastic to you, you're sarcastic back.
Yep.
That's kind of thing. Yeah.
Right on the money. Next one is FOMO.
Fear of missing out.
There you go.
Yeah.
Glow up.
Oh no.
It basically it's a significant positive transformation in your appearance. I mean, if I get shaved and everything, I glow up.
You glow up, yeah. Okay, it's stepping it up visually, your visual appearance. I thought it had something to do with makeup.
Yeah. It's on that path.
Okay, all right. So that's a half point. All right.
Next one is thirsty.
Oh yeah. Yeah, that's somebody who obviously wants attention.
Yep.
Yeah.
Right on the money.
Yeah.
Lit. L-I-T.
Oh, that was awesome.
Yep. Exciting.
That was
amazing.
Awesome. That was amazing.
Yeah.
That was lit, man. It was lit. Yeah, I know that. Yeah.
On fleek.
No, I have no idea.
It kind of goes with the glow up and everything. It's perfectly done. That shirt's on fleek. It looks great.
On fleek.
Yeah.
On fleek. I have never heard that. My kids didn't use that one.
There's a couple of these I was like, I don't even know that. But low key.
Low key. Well, I know what low key is. I mean, it's like speaking quietly and being low key and being laid back with my mind on my money and my money on my mind. Am I even close?
You're kind of on it. It's just kind of being not obvious. I'm gonna sit back here low key.
Low key. Okay, I get it. I get it. Yes. Also, the brother of the Greek god. Thor.
Okay.
Loki.
Yeah, Loki. Yeah. Yep. Ship.
Is that an acronym? SHIP?
Yep.
I have no idea.
So I should have said it's an acronym, but it's who you wish 2 people were together and everything. So if you wanted Angelina Jolie with Johnny Depp, you ship them together.
You ship. They need to be shipped.
Yeah,
like UPS.
Yeah, it's like to wish for 2 people, whether real or fictional, to be a romantic relationship.
I want to know what you guys think in the comments. Have you ever heard that before? Because I have never heard that before. That's completely foreign to me. Let me know in the comments what you think about that. Go ahead.
I got the last one, and I think you'll like this one. Stan.
Stan. Oh. Well, I get my own acronym. What does it stand for?
To be an overly enthusiastic fan of someone or something. You're a stan of somebody. That's one I've never heard.
Fan, maybe it's like a fan, but it's a stan. Maybe
it's a one step above a fan.
Yeah. I wonder if it's sort of a mashup of 2 words.
Yeah. Yeah, that's
like a stupid fan is a stan.
Maybe. But I thought that'd be funny. See what you think.
Oh, that was fun. That was good. Oh, you got to bring more like that. You got to bring more like that.
Yeah, I'll find some other things.
Too much fun. All right. Well, we've been going on a very, very long time, but that's okay. I mean, we don't do it like Joe Rogan, like 3 hours, like Tucker Carlson, like 2.5 hours. Right. We don't do that, but we try to bring fun and interesting stuff to make you go, and or he crazy. He just crazy out of his mind. You seen that Stan show? Man. Anyway, so that's going to do it. I am Stan Arthur. This is the Stan Show, and we like to try to do this at least once a week. And if things don't, if the opportunity doesn't present itself, then sometimes I just do some short stuff and get it out there. But I want to thank you, Chevy, for being here and being part of this thing.
Thank you for having me again.
You have a great take on things. I really appreciate it. I know we don't see eye to eye on everything, but if we did, then it would just be an echo chamber here.
Exactly. And that's the meaning of conversation, to be able to talk to somebody that might have a difference of opinion.
Because it may cause you to change yours, and that's important. That's very, very important.
Absolutely.
So many times my mind has been changed by listening to somebody who reasonably put an argument out there that contains some sort of factor that I never thought of.
Yep.
Yeah. So very, very cool. So that's going to do it. It's a Stan Show. I'm Stan. We'll be back next week. Appreciate you being here. Please take the time to like and subscribe. It's always a good thing. And we're going to take it out now with our stupid little country loop music. Thank you all for watching, and we'll see you next time. Bye-bye.